Hi, my name is Dirk, and today I want to introduce the new vControl User Interface Designer. The User Interface Designer is a new software that connects to vControl via TCP. So we have to enable this option, remote services. Here we set the port and the maximum number of clients that may connect to this vControl system. Okay, we choose the default port and enable the remote service. And now we get a message here that we are connected. In this case, we have the IP number of the vControl system here and the port. So I have provided a small script which I will use here during this small tutorial to show you how it works here. Okay, on the left side of the User Interface Designer we have the widgets library with group boxes, buttons, labels, images, text input fields, combo boxes and spin buttons. In the middle is the working area of the editor, and here on the right side we have the project settings. We talked about IP and port. The full screen switch sets the user interface to full screen without any window decoration. Let's drag a button here. Okay, now we go to run mode without full screen and we have a window here. And if we set the full screen option, we have the full screen of our page without any window decoration. vControl User Interface Designer also has a grid, which can be enabled here, and you can change the grid size if you want, and also the grid color. And you can make the grid magnetic, which means that widgets will snap into the grid. Furthermore, you can add and delete pages here. Let's start with a simple example. I add a second page, switch to the first page and add a button. I name it page 2. You will see why. Okay, here you can set if you want to have rounded corners for the button and the radius of the corners, and some color values, the alignment of the text that is shown on the button, and also the position. You can change the font and the font size, also the font decoration. By the way, the position spin boxes will not work now because we are in magnetic grid mode. If I disable the magnetic grid and go back to the button, then I can move the button pixel by pixel. I go back to magnetic. Okay, we can load an image to the button, and this image can be scaled or keep the aspect, and this image can also be aligned. And here, this is very important area. Here we determine if the button should be a page, task or command button. In this case, this button should be a page button. A page button is a button that switches between pages. So if we press this button, we want to go to page number 2. So I copy this button with Control C, switch to page number 2, paste it. and change the caption to page 1, and also change this parameter here that tells the button to switch to page number 1. Okay, if I go to run mode now, and now I can switch between those two pages. To make it more clear, I add an image here and another image here. Now you see we switch between those two pages. Okay, now let's see what the task button does. So I add a new button, make it task button, and now you see we have here a list of tasks that are available on the connected vControl system. So in that case I choose the task all projectors on, and I want to start this task. If I want to stop a running task, I can use this option, but I think in most cases we will start a task. So now I give the button a useful name. All projectors on, and switch to run mode. I resize the window here. I want to go to page 1, and now I click the button and you see the task turn all projectors on is running. If I hit escape in the vControl user interface, then I go back to the edit mode. Okay, let's add a second button, or third in this case. All projectors off. Task button. All projectors off. And here you see all on, all off. Before I go on, I want to make this project a little bit nicer. First, maybe mention that I put these buttons on page number 2, but I would like to have them on page number 1. So I select them, press Control X to cut, and Control V to paste them. And I delete this, and we also don't need page number 2 anymore. So next thing is, if I click in the inspector on an empty page area, I get the page properties. And okay, at this moment I don't have a better name for the page, but I would like to change the background color. I prefer a dark background. Now I want to talk about command buttons. A command button is a button that sends a command direct to a device that is connected to the vControl system. So if I change this option here to command button, I get a list of devices that are connected to the vControl system. So I choose projector 1 here and also the channel, and I want to send the power command. So now we have here 2 more combo boxes. That is because the power command needs some parameters. There's the address, the projector address, and second parameter is whether to set the power on or off. So to enter these parameters here, we need also 2 combo boxes in this case. So I drag 2 combo boxes in here and set OK, one for the address one for the value. And when I switch back to the button, I can see here, okay, the first parameter is set to combo box 1, and I need to set the second parameter to combo box number 2. To make it look a little bit nicer, I change the font size of the boxes. And okay, I change the button caption to a meaningful name. So, and if I go to run mode now, you can see that here in the acknowledge window, see that I have sent a command to the device projector, the command power to the channel projector 1, and this is the answer from the device. And if I choose off, this value switches to off. So now I have direct control of the device from my user interface. The next widget I want to show you is the label. The label can be used as just a simple label to show some text. Let's say power status in this time, and change the color. Text color should be okay. In this case, it's just a simple label, only showing a text. I don't like the border. I set the border to invisible. So, or you have a checkbox here that says current time. If this one is checked, then the label shows just the current time. Not very magic. The magic comes here. So this label is just used as a simple label, but now we add another label and call it, or we give it a name. Projector 1 power status. And this status is unknown at this time. Change here colors. So, yeah, as I told, the magic is here. Here, these parameters determine what values this label should show. So I want to show a message from a device that is named Projector 1. So the event device, the device that delivers this message, has the name Projector 1. The channel that is used for this particular device is also named Projector 1, but in lower letters. And the command I'm interested in is power. Now I switch to run mode and set the power to on, hit this button. And now you see, okay, we have the acknowledge here and we have this message here that this projector is switched on now. This messaging system not only works if I do some changes here, the status label always shows any changes of the power status of this projector. So if I change its status here directly in the in the vControl interface and click the Run button, you also see that this message is received by this label, and it shows the status. Okay, I extended the user interface a little bit, and now I want to explain what I have done. Here on the top I have a so-called main menu, and these three buttons are all page buttons. They lead to pages. Yeah, the control page, this is the one we see here, the lights page and the status panel. Okay, here, as we explained before, we have control buttons to switch on a projector or change its source. Yeah, here for the second and third. And here we have some macros where we can switch all projectors on and all projectors off. These macro buttons are task buttons. So we call here the task all projectors on and here all projectors off. At the bottom I have a label, and the interesting thing in this label is that the event device channel and command are this asterisk or wildcard, and this means that this label will show all messages. So I use this to see the acknowledge of a command that I send by a click of a button, or if I call a task, then I see here all messages that are coming from the vControl system, and for me it's an indicator yeah, to see if the command was running or not. I have a lights page where I can control the 3 dimmers and the 3 switches, and here we have also task buttons to oh, oops, they are wrong here. It must be not all projectors. All lights 100% and all lights 0%. Okay. And then we have a status panel here, where we want to monitor the status of the projectors, switches and dimmers. What is interesting here is the fields with the question mark. You see this label shows the get power acknowledge from projector 1, and this the get source acknowledge, and this get temperature acknowledge. Here is the same for projector 2, and here are the values for get dim from dimmer 1 to see the actual the current output. 2, and here we can want to see the status of the switches. Let's see how it works. So I go to run mode, resize this a little bit. Okay, this is what we talked before. We can switch the power on of a projector, so we have direct control to any projector. And also we have here our macros where we can switch all on or all off. The same is here with the lights. We can enter a value, set the dimmer, or turn a switch on or off. Or we have macros where we set all lights on, all lights off. So now let's switch to the status panel. As you can see here, the status has never been acquired. This is because we are asking here for the get commands. I did a queue set that do this job. So it requests the power and the source and the temperature of all projectors and the dimmer output and the switch state. So if I run this queue set here, then you see here we have our values, and we see okay, all dimmers are on 100% and they are all switches are on, and so on. So, but it is not very convenient to run the task acquire status, we can have a button here that does it, and every time we want to see the current status we have to push this button. But there's a better way to do this. We can run this script here, acquire status, in a timer event, so that it runs periodic in a periodically way. So if I go to scripts and set timer event, and I say, okay, I want to run this script every 5 seconds, then I have here an interval of 5,000 milliseconds, and I give this task a name and set acquire. This is the event name. So edit, close. Now I assign a task to this, and this task is acquire status. So, and now this script is running every 5 seconds. You can see it here, the temperature values these devices deliver. Every 5 seconds you have a small change here. And if I go, for example, to a switch and set the switch 1 to off and click to run, then the next time the acquire script runs, it also changes the status of the switch. So now you always have the status of all your connected devices here in one page, and the status updates every 5 seconds. In this case, you can change this just here if you say edit event, acquire, and then you can change the interval here if you want. That's all for today. If you have any further questions, please read the manual or contact our forum. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.